Good evening. We are taking you straight to Fort McMurray, Alberta tonight, where an explosive wildfire is raging out of control. It's ripping right through the community, the wall of flames moving far faster than anyone expected. All of downtown now, except for one small area, is under mandatory evacuation order. It's all happening very fast. At least 2 residential neighborhoods are burning. The roads gridlocked as people try to get out. Our Reed Feist is still in downtown Fort McMurray. He joins us now. Reed, can you describe what's happening?
We'll just talk, and if I'll pause. You can have. Well, Donna, it is a crazy scene here in Fort McMurray tonight, and you can see it behind me. The winds have basically pushed this fire that was on the other side of a river into the community of Fort McMurray, and it happened so fast this afternoon. When we spoke earlier, in fact, we saw that the flames were coming down this hill, going through these trees. And when they did that, they in fact crossed across Highway 63, which is the main corridor here in Fort McMurray. We're standing downtown by the local high school, and we're trying to see exactly what's going on. But as you say, lots of people are getting out. We've seen some gridlock in this community over the past couple of hours, but we probably seen a bit of a quiet point now because some people have gotten out, or roads have been closed down because the fire has actually crossed over Highway 63, Donna.
Yeah, we're reading lots of tweets and seeing some images there. People trying to get on buses, people getting in their cars and driving, hopefully trying to find some safe place to get to. Also, people trying to hose down their homes, setting sprinklers up on top, hoping for the best as they flee Fort McMurray tonight. Reed, have you seen any water bombers in the area, or is the smoke just too heavy right now?
You know, we haven't. We have seen a helicopter to my right. They were, I think, getting a bucket out of the river here to see if they could get some parts of these fires put out. But the smoke, I think, is just too low right now for those planes to be flying. It's not safe. We have seen choppers flying low over this area, but it's a situation now where you know, there's not a lot emergency officials can do. If one house is burning down, which we believe one is basically right behind me, then, you know, crews can try and go put it out. But this is such a massive fire and such a massive scale. We talked to one person this afternoon in the community of Beacon Hill, that's on the southwest corner of Fort McMurray, when this started to escalate, when he was trying to pack up some of his belongings. Here's our exchange.
Oh, Reed, I hope we can get to that in a moment. We don't seem to have it right now. Let's just, for people who don't know Fort McMurray, can you describe where the fire is right now? It looks from, you know, someone who isn't familiar with the community, like it's almost surrounding it now. It's getting so close to downtown. Give us a sense of the geography.
Well, essentially, Fort McMurray has residential communities. The biggest one is on the west side of Highway 63, which is the main corridor that goes through the middle of this community. That is to my left, and as it goes on to the north. We believe that there are some communities, including Thickwood, which are affected by this because the fire has gone across the river. Behind me, there are some more residential communities. And then to the south, to my right, is Beacon Hill. That is a residential community. And then even further to the south, there are more communities. And then there's a lot of industrial. And as far as I can tell, seeing where the smoke is coming from, all of those communities are being affected in some way, whether the fire is burning through them or whether the smoke is simply drifting over top of them. But I would say, as a general rule, it would be the west side of Fort McMurray. We're in downtown Fort McMurray, and right now I don't believe a lot of the fire has crossed into this community because Highway 63 acts as the barrier. But, you know, it obviously can go across the highway, and we have seen embers go across the highway. Important to note that people aren't familiar, of course, Fort McMurray, the home of Canada's oil sands, most of those sites are to the north of us and aren't in the path of this right now, so they would be okay, but it's mostly the residential and some of the industrial communities here affected.
All right.